The Chinese Arabic numeral Lao Luan Shanghai mechanical watch has all the hallmarks of a watch from the past without being vintage. From its smaller case size to its bulbous acrylic crystal and its Breguet dial layout, this windup is reminiscent of the kind of watches our grandfathers wore. The affordable wristwatch is far from perfect, but it's a perfect example of what a good cheap watch can be. If this is your first time clocking in with the Dapper Riz, my name is Jay, and y'all know what time it is. With a 36mm case size, 43mm lug-to-lug length, 18mm lug width, and 10.4mm tall, the watch is ideal for my 6.25-inch wrist. The short lug-to-lug neutralizes lack of lug turn down. It's so compact, it can't help but rest nicely on the wrist. But this is where I have to point out a half negative on this watch. Been a while since I used a half negative on my videos, so I feel I should say it's only a half negative to me, because for you, this might not be an issue at all. I bought this watch with the full intentions on wearing it with a nylon. But the short lug to lug, little to no lug turn down, and my puny ass wrist is not a good mix. I'll demonstrate with a different yet very similar Shanghai, the Kontiki wannabe. Note how the spring bar placement appears to be at mid-level case height. I hope that makes sense. But if you look at my Bertucci, I think you'll catch what I mean. Looks almost level to the back of the case. Ideal for nylon and comfort. Now let's put it on. It just don't look right. The huge gaps on either side due to lack of lug turn down and its length and spring bar placement just don't feel right. But if you have a bigger wrist, this might not be an issue. But y'all know my get down. I don't rest till my watches look their best. And replacing the original strap and or bracelet is typical and a must, because you have to trust the one that came with this watch is trash. I've never been a fan of Croco Gator embossed, but I'll promise you, you're gonna get over that inconvenience quickly, because not only will you elevate your watch visually, you'll also be more comfortable while wearing it. Now currently I got this watch on a vintage Seiko bracelet, and I gotta say, they look real good together. This Seiko bracelet looks better on this watch than it does on the original Seiko case it came with. I said it before and I'll say it again. Switch up your straps and or bracelets if possible. You'll just never know what's going to make your watch look better. But knowing that most of y'all don't have a small inventory of old Seiko watches to poach bracelets off of, I'll suggest you pair it with this Dasari leather 2-piece strap from strapsco.com. Give me a few ticks to switch it up. These Dasaris are good leather. They're basically my go-to for a lot of my watches. They look good and they feel good. And the cool thing about this Dasari is that the Luan buckle that came with this watch is also gonna fit. I suspect y'all gonna say that this is a negative because its original band is garbage. But not me. I really can't fault it. This watch is cheap. But I do consider that the Arabic numerals fading into the matte black dial a major con. But to be fair, it only takes place in certain angles, so it's not the end of the world. I don't think the Arabics are applied because I imagine that if they were, this wouldn't be an issue. I could be wrong, but the watch looks good. And the last con, in my opinion, is the effort needed to wind the watch. It feels like it fights me. I own a bunch of wind-ups, and this watch is the toughest to wind. I wouldn't blame the 5.5 millimeter wide crown for this, because for me, it's big enough in size and has enough grip. Unlike this Mercure right here, with a 4.9 millimeter size crown, just noticeably feels too small for a wind-up mechanical. I'm just glad it doesn't fight me the way the Shanghai does. The crown design, barely visible, but present. And for that, I give them their props. They're gonna get their flowers from me, y'all. I bought this watch off of good-stuff.com more than 2 years ago. $70 with shipping included. The case is entirely polished, but it's not as simple as it looks. It only looks simple and bland due to its poor execution. It's unfortunate, yes, but again expected at the price it comes in. No sharp lines here, no bezel or brush transitions. But I'm okay with all of that. I'll admit, this is not my most worn watch, but it's so inexpensive, I don't mind wearing it 10 times a year, because on those rare occasions that I do, the watch feels right. And until the next Dapper Wrist video, this one goes out to all those clowns eager to punch down on cheap watches. It's comical how some of y'all try to justify your overpriced luxury watch, as I stay on time with these cheap Chinese watches.